Yo, you're listening to Everyday Superpower, the place where we talk body language, attraction, seduction, repulsion, and everything in between, alright? We talk game on this channel. Now, two links down in the description of the video. One links to the catalogue of body language. It's a YouTube playlist I've compiled of my own material, okay? And essentially it'll just teach you the A to the B to the C to the D of understanding and reading someone's nonverbal communication. Secondly is a link to the Patreon as to where you will learn attraction and repulsion cues by watching real dates with me. It'll be information you'll never forget throughout your entire life, I assure you. Now, let's have a talk. What have I titled this one, yeah? Let me see what I've made in my little notepad. This is going to be a good one, people. So, I've made a note to say, speak to her through the lens of being a great father. And it will flick her attraction switch, okay? So, this is crazy. It probably sounds straight away like I'm jumping into some Freudian stuff. Within reason. I mean, there is a multitude of factors as to why this would be very beneficial as far as speaking well to women. But what I want to speak of is the biological hardwiring as to how she's wired unconsciously to the deep depths of the back of her brain to, or should I say the stem of her brain, to pay attention to and to be attracted to those that showcase fatherly ability purely down to the reason that she needs to procreate to continue her bloodline, to continue life on planet Earth, to fulfill her biological purpose. Now, don't get me wrong, I know that some people aren't capable of procreation, and some people might be a little bit older, and that's completely fine, okay? But what I'm speaking of is the unconscious motivation for a woman to procreate, as well as a man to procreate. The baseline foundational motive remains the same. Okay, the meaning of life, to continue existing. Survival first and foremost, procreation second, yes? So once two people are surviving, then we can get onto the good stuff, right? So, how do you put this into practice? You tell me. Like I said, approach communication and maybe even approach and perceive your own ideals and motives and movements in alignment with children. Okay? Well, if I get better at this, I'll be a better father. Well, if I make more money, I'll be able to provide for the child better. Well, if I was healthier, I'd be able to live longer and play with my child. And if I was more intelligent, I would be able to give that intellect to my child through studies and teaching and life experience. And if I was, developing my own business and building my own business, I'll be able to pass it down to my child. Have you seen how this is not only attractive to a woman through who you are, but it doubles up through the perspective of applying it to being a father? When you talk and discuss things with a woman, if you were to speak to her in a fatherly role, maybe not necessarily in regards to being her father, which, don't get me wrong, in certain circumstances is incredibly powerful, to engage in that regressive style of communication to ensure she is protected, provided for, and feels that youthful childlike joy and awe in your presence. You can also engage in it in the fact that you yourself are going to be optimal father material. And what happens for you to become a father and for her to become the mother? You need to engage in sexual activity. You need to procreate, right? How deep is this game? This is the game of animal, primitive behavior. We are no different. We feel like we're smart and intellectual and above and beyond all of that because we have a conscious mind telling us such. Because our conscious mind needs to think about going to work and going to bed and all this and that. But your biological processes and impulses and reasons for doing what you do, a lot of it runs underneath the tip of the iceberg. It runs submerged in this vast ocean of undecipherable blue and noise. This ocean of deep, dark depths that you can't even fathom the amount of information that exists within that space. It's your entire life of information that exists within the space. It's your entire evolution. It's your ancestry existing within this space. Every person before you, as far as your lineage is concerned, your family is concerned, every person before you has felt this biological pull to procreate and has done so effectively and efficiently to the degree as to where you are here on this planet Earth. And now you are doing the same thing through seeking out a partner to have intercourse with, yeah? So, of course, generally, we just talk about fun stuff on this channel. I'm not going into the deep depths of, maybe I should start talking about deep depths, and just leave it for the subconscious and unconscious mind. But what I'm talking about here is, I'm not going to go into the realm of, how do I have a child? How do I bring up a child? So on and so forth. That's not what we've been discussing, or at least in this video, we're not discussing that. We're talking about attraction. First and foremost, attracting women, and a woman might not be consciously aware of the fact that you are showcasing great fatherly technique and motive, but what goes beneath the surface of her mind is definitely picking that up and screaming, wow, this would be a great choice for the father of my children that I need to have to continue life on planet Earth, such as any animal. So I'm going to leave it on this note. Take a moment, okay, in your day-to-day to just think about the actions of others and think about their motives, their reasons. Think about your reasons. Why do you do the things you do? What would make the things you do better? How do you find joy? When you receive dopamine, where do you receive it from and why? What triggers you into action? What engages you? And look at it through the lens of a fatherly role, of a fatherly influence. I'm signing out. Peace.